I guess in some ways I was a late bloomer because I was 30 when uh, let's say that I was about 24 when I admitted that I was gay, and then I was 30 when I accepted I was gay, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I thought it would, but I now know that kind of stuff is just hokey, and I actively campaign against it. In fact, in Canada, it's now illegal, which is it was done a few years ago, which is great news. Um,
Yes.
in between, I lit a batch of dynamite and blew the thing right open. There's a lot of overlap between the leather community here and the bear community. So I guess the best way I can describe that is that I dabbled.
How do you identify as a bear? And has that changed over time?
That's a good question because I've always considered bear to be something of as close to of a binary situation as I can think of. You are if you say you are. Even when I came out at 30, I like if I see 30-year-olds now and I think of these like such young cubs, but even at the time I considered myself a bear, and maybe because I was more of an old soul than anything else. I
Mhm.
just felt more at ease there than going to the dance bar that were like the young were much younger people were going. Same thing in my first trip to Montreal when I was out and I went to the stud bar. Felt very at home, always feeling like a little bit out of place. But it was
Mhm.
once I got to those groups and those communities, I really felt at home. I won that contest that year. So I was the first Mr. Ottawa Bear. Now,
All
so long
right.
ago, but that was a long time ago. I'm a has bear now because the leather group, when they pick the Mr. Leather Ottawa, they're expected to do fundraising throughout the
Yeah.
year. They're expected to be an ambassador of the leather group along with the president of the club.
Yes. Oh, I'll bite my tongue. I was going to say, could you go into detail about how well you got to know these guys?
I think
Oh,
there needs to be a secondary channel here.
I don't hide that I am
Yeah.
gay. I don't hide that I'm a bear or that I participate in bear things. For example, like last weekend, I was going to MC the Mr. Bear contest, and some of
Mhm.
them were very interesting.
In your opinion, what is a bear?
I've heard it described as coming out twice. You come out as gay, and then you come out as, you know what, I think I'm attracted to the type of man that every piece of media is telling me not to. Like, if you get to know somebody long enough, you'll find something wrong.
Yeah.
Me, and I would be at the top of that list. I know I'm going to find some very interesting people, and they're the ones that's going to show me here's the real Madrid, here's the real Brussels. What you think about how things are moving. One thing I've noticed is the demise of the gay village.
No.
I guess I'm curious, is that a phenomenon happening everywhere? Because it's definitely happening here in Canada. Part of it is that we don't necessarily all need to live in the same space to feel safe anymore. People aren't meeting in bars anymore. It's all on apps.
I'm also wondering with our heaven sent savior from hell running the country at this point, if we may need to gather in community or even go underground. That could well happen in the future here.
And they need somewhere to go to meet people face to face, not just it was on a screen on a phone. But I will die on this hill that it is not the same as meeting in person.
Yep.
I connected with you less much, even though we had a very short interaction.
And I've been up a few times now to visit, and we've become very close friends. And if that had been over an app, nothing would have happened. I love Ottawa. I really love Ottawa. It's like just the right size of a city, and I love the vibe that people are great there.
The next time he saw me, I was sitting on the back of an open Jeep during Pride Parade with the signs like about the Ottawa Bears Club, and I was handing out cookies, and I had my sash and my medal on, and I'll never forget the look on his face. Like, what the hell happened to this guy?
You made it. Yes.
I just told everybody.
Great. We're the land of the misfit toys. We're the ones who expect to fit in this group.
So I get it, but I also do know that there's a lot of people who are simply priced out of these things. Provincetown's insane.
Yeah.
You know, and not everybody has the opportunity to fly to Palm Springs or to Puerto Vallarta for a bear run either.
I remember the Folsom Street Fair was not long after September 11th here in the States. And that Folsom Street Fair, it was fairly crowded, but it was 20-year-olds who drove up from LA.
What is going to happen if I cross the border? Are they going to get at my phone? Are they going to get at my laptop? I don't know. I still have I have a bear necklace that I got at IBR in 2006.
And we're pretty passionate about collecting stories and materials, because otherwise, when we go, our history disappears.